I'm here with Tammy from Save Black Swan Lake. Tammy, can you please tell us about the land title here in this particular road?
Well, we paid $1,000 and we got the land title. We have the history to where this area ever began. We have the photocopy of the original title, which was written on pigskin in 1860, and we know who owns this land, and it's the people. What we're looking at now is they've encroached since 1946 when they built that race course. They've been encroaching on our land more west until they want this land as well. How far north, south and east and west do they want of this land? It's all public land. Right next door on Train Tech, that's public land too, but they managed to do the same thing a few years ago and build Train Tech there. On our public land because the council gave them a licence for 100 years. So all of this area is Gold Market Reserve. So right on our Gold Market Reserve, we're missing a slit here with Train Tech, and now we're going to be missing another slit of Gold Market Reserve when they take Black Swan Lake, and we're going to have hardly anything left of our public land. All of this here belongs to the people. Some of it belongs to the city of the Gold Coast. Some of these titles belong to the people of the Gold Coast, the inhabitants of the Gold Coast, not even the Gold Coast City Council, and some of it belongs to still over in England, the ancestors of, who was before Queen Victoria, I think it says, on the title deed. It hasn't even been changed over to the Gold Coast City Council. So this is our land, and what they've done is they've come closer and closer till they got to here. So for instance, his last row of stables, his last half that they just built in the beginning of the year, that title belongs to the same title as the lake. And they built the stable, and then they applied to council to get approval, which was rubber stamped, of course. And that's how they have managed to get all of this land around here. They build something, they get it. They build something, they get it. They build something, they get it. Now they're trying to build this and they get it. And this has got a licence. We've read their old licence, and their new licence was signed in March of this year. And this licence is to the Turf Club for $1 a year, and it doesn't come into play until the lake is filled. So you can see why they're in a hurry to fill the lake, even though in the development application it says that the work must be done in stages. That means putting a bit of dirt in, putting the silt filter closer, making sure the animals are moved, and then draining that bit of water or evaporating it, and then moving it back again in stages. They have thrown this dirt in, so that they're not. So they're not following their development application. But we've got a good court case. Alicia Swain from Council came here on November the 13th and made a statement that to her knowledge there is no legal cases pending and no court cases pending. Our court case is pending, and we have sent the council letters to saying, hey, we haven't stopped this. We got a barrister and lawyer, and we in February, and we wanted to take them into court, but we had such a high chance of success and they had such a low chance of success that they didn't want to see us in court, and they cancelled that development application due to error. They've been unable to do any work since, but they quickly set about getting another development application, and this is what led to the work today. They have a second development application, but we've had a look at their second development application, and we're confident that we can find just as many breaches, faults and everything in the new one. And we've also found a lot of evidence. We've got a good court case. We're still retaining our barrister. Our lawyer cannot continue because he's too busy winning other cases here on the Gold Coast. So we're in the process of getting another lawyer just on board for this part. We're trying to get an injunction or a writ or similar. So keep giving to our legal fund. You can find that on our webpage. I disagree with what the council employee said on November the 13th, that there is no legal cases pending or court cases pending. There absolutely is. We threatened them that if they didn't get back to us within 7 days, we'd already given them 7 days, 7 days more, to prepare for court, but they didn't want to walk into court with us. But we did threaten them at the time that if one spoonful of soil goes into this lake without them getting back to us, that we will pursue this. So we have sent them a legal letter. Our lawyers have sent them a letter to say, we will proceed now and we will pursue this. We have handed that as well to the CCC, to the DILGP and the OIA because they, in my opinion, and let's see what the legal experts say, they shouldn't have started this work in the first place.
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions for you. Last Monday I understand that you had a blockade and you stopped the trucks coming in for a while. What was the result of that blockade? Did the police arrive? How did the blockade end?
Okay. Well, the blockade started, and one gentleman.
Describe this truck coming through now.
Okay, here's a truck coming through, and as you notice, can you hear all right? See this truck coming through? Get the number plate and get the driver. They've been very abusive, like slapping people as they try to film. But have a look. There is no signage on this truck, right? No signage. See? and have a look at that number plate, because the CEO of the Turf Club also owns a tipper hire company called Coastal Tipper Hire, and we have filmed and photographed his trucks coming here, and we'd like to see what other trucks are here.
So, who is the man that owns the tipping truck company?
Brett Cook, the CEO of the Turf Club, who are the applicants here who want to take this land and have this lease and use it for their own, whatever they want to use it for, also owns the company.
So you're alleging that the trucks that are doing the job are in fact owned by the CEO of the Turf Club?
Yes, it appears that way. We have definitely filmed and photographed them coming in. They were in yesterday morning, and in a small red stripe they had Coastal Tipper Hire up there. So that's been filmed, and the man yelled out, "Get the F out of my way."
So coming back to the blockade, I understand that people chained themselves in front of the road, is that correct?
They chained themselves to the fences to stop the trucks coming through. And then, to my knowledge, 3 people were taken away by police. Obviously, the poor police are just trying to do their job. They can see what a terrible travesty of justice has been doing here. But their job was to take the people off the land because apparently they were trespassing. And then the mayor gets on his Facebook page and gives us a get-out-of-jail-free card by stating that this land isn't under licence, there's no licence, and it's the people's land. So he just gave us a get-out-of-jail-free card, so all of those people were released without charge.
Do you think there's a possibility that another event might take place, another blockage like that again?
We're hoping that we will soon have our writ in place or our injunction or whatever we need. It's just that it's taken this long, but we have not been sitting on our laurels. We have been preparing the case. We also went onto the Facebook page of the mayor, and we asked him where he got his sources from, and he sent us where he got his sources. So we've gone over that like a fine-tooth comb, and there is not one thing in there that says the water's toxic. The only word toxic appears when they're talking about what appears to be blue-green algae, which not the lake is toxic, but the blue-green algae could pose a toxic threat to the lake. It doesn't say the lake's toxic.
I've spoken to some of the people involved from the Bulimba Catchment Committee who've been testing this lake since 2012 to as recently as 2017, and they heavily dispute the claims that the lake is toxic, and they believe it was a thriving habitat. They have concerns with what is being splashed around publicly from the council, and I just think it would be really helpful for people to actually hear what these guys are saying, because they've actually tested the water, they've tested it scientifically to independent labs, and their results are clear and concisive, and they have said time and time again that the lake was not toxic, and there's problems with there's apparently some contamination coming from within the vicinity, seeping into the lake, and they don't believe that has been addressed.
Thank you for that. Has the Queensland Crime and Investigation Committee been interviewed attempted to interview you or talk to you in any way?
Yeah, they have. They spoke to me approximately 2 months ago now. They're here on the Gold Coast. They're fully on to investigating this. The CCC, it's not in their jurisdiction to stop the work at the lake. They don't have the power to do that. The person that has the power to do that is is Sterling Hinchcliffe. And based on the CCC investigations, their initial investigation found that they are of the view there may have been a material conflict of interest involving the mayor and 7 councillors. They passed that on to the DILGP in November of last year, and the DILGP handed it back. And with what the DILGP found, the CCC then announced that due to public interest...
These abbreviations that you're giving, could you give the names in full, please?
Department of Local Government and the Crime and Conduct Commission and the Office of Independent Assessor. So there's another truck coming through. I'd like you to notice there is no signage here on this truck.
No signage on
No signage, but take a look at the number plate there, because we're comparing them. We mounted a successful legal case in February and stopped the work on the first development application. We are mounting a continuing legal case on their second development application. The Mayor, Tom Tate, has played the Joker. He's now playing the racist card. We can see he's out of aces, and game on.